I think that the idea was irresistible for both Federer and Nadal.
I thought that was fantastic. Whoever came up with the idea is genius.
Honestly, my dream was to develop a new classic, the winner of Roland Garros against the winner of Wimbledon.
In the early to mid-2000s, Roger Federer had already won 12 Grand Slam titles and had an unbelievable record of 247 wins to just 15 losses. For years, no one seemed capable of truly challenging him.
The way I'm winning my matches easily. You know, the one opponent in the last round, he gave up after 2 sets.
That was until a young teenager from Mallorca, Spain came onto the scene. In 2004, Rafa Nadal shocked the tennis world with his incredible talent.
He's like a big body Borg, basically. And Borg was lightning. Borg was the fastest guy I've ever seen. I still think he's faster than Rafael. But Rafael's got the firepower.
For the first time, doubts began to appear. Could Roger really remain unstoppable forever? Nadal started defeating Federer time and time again, but never on grass. By 2007, Nadal was undoubtedly the king of clay. He had already won 16 ATP events in less than 3 years and was at the cusp of his 3rd straight Roland Garros victory. On grass courts, however, he consistently failed to win even 3 straight matches. Unfortunately, in his only grass court event final at the 2006 Wimbledon, he lost against none other than Federer.
Today was tough for me, but at the same time, it's good watching me playing a final like this against the best of the world.
At that time, the Swiss had played 48 times on the surface and hadn't lost a single match. So what is it about these two surfaces that gives each player a distinctive advantage? Clay courts made from crushed red brick have a unique effect on the game. They slow the tennis ball down and make it bounce higher after hitting the surface. For Nadal, this is advantageous. His style of play is all about hitting with heavy topspin to create tricky bounces that are tough to return. Plus, the slower pace gives him extra time to use his incredible speed, staying far behind the baseline and catching almost every shot. On the other hand, grass tennis courts are a whole different game. The short grass keeps the ball low and makes it bounce fast, leaving players with less time to react. This surface naturally suits players who hit flat, powerful shots with little topspin and who like to approach the net to finish points quickly. As you might have guessed, that's the definition of Roger Federer's style of play. In 2007, sports management agency IMG, in collaboration with advertising agency Del Campo Saatchi and Saatchi, decided to create something unique. The man who came up with the idea was Argentinian entrepreneur and tennis fan Pablo Del Campo. Pablo was on a plane to Miami when the view of a baseball field from his window gave him an idea.
In the case of the baseball, what it was crazy for me was to see when the outfield meets the infield, the grass meets the dirt, the red clay. And seeing that from above, I saw a tennis court, a hybrid tennis court, half grass, half red clay.
The idea was first meant for tennis legends Pete Sampras and Gustavo Kuerten. However, the plan never took off. That was until Pablo, driven by the slogan, "Nothing is impossible," from Saatchi and Saatchi, decided to bring it back to life. By then, the tennis world was ruled by Roger Federer and Rafa Nadal. This is why Pablo began reaching out to their teams to make his dream a reality. Argentine tennis star Javier Frana helped him connect with Nadal, who was immediately on board. Federer and his team were just as enthusiastic, recognizing this match as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Building the dual surface court wasn't easy. It was a massive project that took 19 days and cost $1.63 million. But as the big day got closer, problems started popping up. The grass side of the court wasn't doing well indoors. The conditions made it start to deteriorate, and if that wasn't enough, a worm infestation caused parts of the grass to die completely. With just 1 day left before the match, things looked very bad. The match was at the edge of being canceled, meaning everyone would be left without an answer to their question: who was truly the best player? However, in a last-minute save, the organizers found a solution.
They had the chance of doing something with a golf green, and in order to make the match possible, and well, it happened. But it was very, very stressful, and it had a lot of drama.
However, the last-minute replacement wouldn't be without its consequences the following day. May 2nd, 2007, Federer and Nadal walk onto the first dual grass clay court in history. The stadium is filled with 7,000 people and the atmosphere is amazing. Indeed, the match tickets were sold out in just 2 hours and there are 200 million television viewers. It is a unique moment not only for the fans but also for the brands. Many sponsors supported this match, including Rolex, a major name in tennis, which added luxury to the event. Nike also played a big role. They provided outfits for both players and used the event to promote its brand. It would be the best at 3 sets, with changeovers extended to 2 minutes instead of the usual 90 seconds, to give players a chance to change their shoes for each surface. However, when it came to the start of the match, the first obstacles started to appear. The replacement grass was bouncing erratically, making playing extremely unpredictable for the player on the grass side. Therefore, the clay side gave players a clear advantage due to its higher bounce. As the first set went on, Federer made a countless number of errors, making Nadal look really comfortable on whichever side he played on. Therefore, the first set ended 5-7 for the Spanish. With that, Federer returned in the second set. Although the grass acted more as an obstacle than an advantage, the skills that helped him win 12 Grand Slams helped him defeat Nadal in a second set 6-4, setting up a third and final set to decide the match. Both players used the court's inadequacies in the third set to play on their own terms and decide who was to be truly crowned the champion of surfaces. Therefore, after saving multiple match points, Nadal found himself able to finish the match in the easiest way possible after a tiebreak. The Spanish was crowned as the champion of the Battle of the Surfaces match. However, nobody was prepared for what was about to happen. At the Masters 1000 tournament in Hamburg on clay the same year, Federer defeated Nadal in the final, breaking Nadal's incredible winning streak on the surface.
For bad luck, I lost today after 81 matches, but if I have to lose against someone, he's the man, no?
However, Nadal responded greatly the next year by making history at the 2008 Wimbledon Final on grass, where he ended Federer's remarkable winning streak both on the surface and at the tournament.
Roger, first of all, can I just say thank you as a tennis player that you allowed us to be part of this amazing spectacle. I mean, is that any consolation?
A little bit. Thanks, John. No, it's tough. It's tough. It hurts.
This was the result of an exhibition match which will probably never happen again. Despite there have been tries of hosting the Battle of the Surfaces again, the match between Nadal and Federer remains as the only in history to ever feature a hybrid court. Thus, the match is still regarded by players like Djokovic as being the best exhibition match ever.
I think actually one of the best, images that I've ever seen from tennis is them playing on a half grass, half clay court. I thought that was fantastic. Whoever came up with the idea was genius.
If you like this story about the strangest match in tennis history, don't miss this next one about the tennis racket that even Federer and Nadal couldn't master. I am sure you've never heard of it.